Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. You know, today I've done two things. One, guitar lesson. Two, college. And in both cases, I don't even know why I even said that, really. That's essentially what I've done today, so I feel like busy-ish day. Like, finally getting to use this one freaking Iron Maiden track, which has been giving me trouble, so I actually practice for once instead of, you know, just putting it off, so a lot of practice. But the other thing with the college is I brought down the alphabet, the Japanese alphabet, that is. And I'm just looking at my notes, because, like, all the other times I've gone to the college, I've never had to write notes. I've, like, done, like, English and math bits, I've done, like, an IT course, and stuff like that. Now I'm on a Japanese course and all that, and now it's, like, kind of advanced a bit. So, like, wrote down the alphabet, there's, like, over 40 of it. I had to write down, like, how it's pronounced to kind of remind me, like, that's pronounced just like that. Then you got ones that are like, this is an odd thing. I'm not sure, because I was doing it one after the other, but like, spelling-wise, there's like 2 O's in the alphabet. But, actually, yeah, one of them is pronounced as, O, as in, like, or, that's how I written it down. And the other one, despite looking like an O, I mean, not the character, but the letter next to it, the kind of, I don't know, phonic part, whatever you want to call it, it's pronounced more like wa, as in water. Whoa, so whoa, actually, not wa, whoa. So how weird is that? No wonder what, well, it was a good thing, yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it? Write down notes, because, like, it's clearly gonna have different pronunciations. Honestly, writing down the Japanese characters for it all was a bit of a pain in the ass, because it's just like, I'm not used to this. Honestly, it kind of, like, some of it kind of reminds me of a flat note, like in the shape of some of the characters. That and some of them kind of remind me of numbers. Like, he looks kind of like a horseshoe. What other interesting characters are there? There's some that look like pretzels. It reminds me of Let's Players, Zeta Plays. Anytime you play a Japanese game, you have no idea what he's doing and kind of like, well, essentially look at the characters, like, essentially call them what they look like. It's like, telephone pole being attacked by badgers, just all kinds of random stuff. What, well, I just felt like sharing, I suppose. Kind of confusing, but that's to be expected when learning a new language. I didn't realize that the Japanese had such a big alphabet. And it kind of makes sense, really, when you, like, see words they're actually just made up of these alphabet, like it would be in English, only there seems to be more for the alphabet in Japanese than the English alphabet. That's kind of interesting, but anyways. Before I know it, we're back in front of the student council office. There's someone else there too, this time. Hi, Hee-chan! It's locked. Seeing a can of lemonade in her hand, I reflectively start looking for a vending machine nearby. I'm so thirsty. I know that Hee-chan. She-chan is somewhere else, I guess. Weird. Haha, we all stuck together, Hee-chan. Misha takes a long drink from her lemonade, eventually just tipping it over and pouring the rest into her mouth. I feel like I'm being mocked. Do you want one, Hee-chan? No, it's okay. I can't take someone else's drink. It's rude. Besides, you're making fun of me, aren't you? I saw you inhale all of that. I have another one in my bag. I was prepared. See? I'm just like She-chan. She's a little too prepared. It's good some of that is rubbing off on you, anyway. After what, 2 years? Ha ha ha! The way she stares at me as I drink it is a little disconcerting, but I'm too grateful to care about it, so not much about it. You and Shizune always end up treating me to something. It's starting to embarrass me. Really, Hee-chan? Haha! Buy me lunch sometime then, okay? Then we'll be even. Well, it's funny you should say that. I was going to ask if you wanted to eat in town.
Yeah, I'm really hungry today, Hichan. Thanks.
Yesterday I was going to ask her yesterday. Misha cuts me off before I can finish the sentence, and I can't find an opening to correct her as she dashes enthusiastically around me, laughing, her arms flapping excitedly at her sides. I already have my wallet with me, so I start walking towards town with Misha trailing behind me, playing idly with her hands and loudly wondering to herself where we should go eat. At least I think so. She could be asking me, "Gee, I wonder where they'll go." Do you have somewhere specific you want to go?
I want to go to the tea house. They have a really big buffet there.
Of course! It's not like there's any other frickin' place in town. I saw you eat a buffet there last time. It looked really big.
No. This one is really big. It's also really expensive.
Really expensive?
Haha, a little.
Jeez, well, you and Shizune paid for my food a bunch of times, so it's fine.
Ichan, I don't think I ever did that. Are you sure it wasn't just Shichan?
Are you really arguing against a free meal? Don't worry about it. We go to the Shanghai and are seated by a waitress who is surprisingly not Yuko. What the hell? Misha is very eager to eat that buffet because she shouts her order as soon as she walks through the door. When it arrives, I can see that it is both very big and very expensive looking.
And you go to order anything, Hichan. If you're hungry, we can share.
I don't like buffets. I don't like ramen.
You can pick it out.
You can't just pick out ramen. Don't be silly. You're probably pronouncing that incorrectly. Even if I could, Misha is mashing her food together to the point where it is no longer possible. It also looks kind of gross. I wonder if that many flavors can ever blend together well. Can she really taste anything in that goop? She's acting like it's delicious anyway.
Buffets are the best. I have sensitive teeth, so ice cream is a no-no. Cake is too soft though, and there's too much icing. I get bored. Buffet is interesting. How many cafes have buffets here? I think 10. I've tried them all. I like this one the best. It has a little flan.
You sound like you're some kind of dessert expert. You know, saying flan, I just think of those freaking flans from the Final Fantasy series. Just like, oh, those flans? No.
Not just dessert, I want to eat all kinds of delicious things.
What are you, freaking Queena from Final Fantasy 9 all of a sudden? It's like, I'm going to travel the whole world and eat as much as I can.
Someday I'll have enough money to buy a 2-kilogram Mitsusaga beefsteak.
That's like over 100,000 yen. I guess it's kind of... food is kind of your hobby then, huh? A hobby isn't something that should take months to learn about someone. I've been very rude in retrospect. Also, this is one pricey hobby.
I guess so.
What? Yeah. Misha giggles, raising her hand to her face. It looks like some ice cream accidentally got on her nose. She doesn't notice it. I can't stop noticing it. I wish she would wipe it off. I'm about to tell her about it, but she suddenly says,
I don't know what that means.
Well, we're in the same boat, Misha, on that. I don't know what that means either. Oh, I guess it's a bad word. Anyway, it has implications. What? Epicurian is better. It means someone who enjoys eating nice food. That's the adjective though, so epicure is the word for it.
Ichan, you're too wordy.
You know, honestly, with some of the words he uses, I feel the same sometimes. Sorry. Just like you know all these fancy words.
I think this is what Shichan likes about you.
Because I'm wordy. I need to buy some disorders then.
No, not like that, Hichan.
I decided to order some coffee after all, but it takes a while to get the waitress to notice. And I think actually getting my coffee will take about as long. The tea shop is filling up. No surprise, as we've already been here for almost an hour while she was chipping out that dessert. I order my coffee to go, but Misha orders one as well. So it seems that we're going to be here longer than I thought. I really wish it was that easy. It's hard to talk to her lately.
Bird, she's been busy because of the elections.
I know we can't have fun all the time. It's just that there's a lot I want to say to her, I think. I always screw up when the time comes, though, and I don't even have the time now because of the elections. Not for a while, though.
Hichan, do you think that Shichan is avoiding you?
Misha sounds angry. That's to be expected, but I don't feel that way at all. No.
Is that so?
The dreamy way in which she says it makes me think that Misha is disappointed with my answer. In that case, it could be how she feels. I'm uneasy asking such a question, but I trust Misha would answer it honestly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even dream of it. Do you?
No, of course not, Hee-chan, but it's frustrating sometimes. Hee-chan has so much energy and is always trying to make people feel as excited about things as she is. But it's like Hee-chan doesn't know how to handle things when everyone gets really hyped up, or I think that she wants to make sure nothing goes wrong. When I want to help out, Hee-chan always pushes me away. It's frustrating. I'm just overthinking it probably, right?
Misha takes a big gulp from her cup of coffee, then sticks it down.
Ow, I thought it would have cooled down by now.
Has it really been that long? I checked my watch. It hasn't been very long at all, but looking outside, the sun is already starting to set. Not really. It got dark out pretty quickly today, though, so I could understand why you might think that. At my words, Misha looks outside and yawns almost immediately. She looks sleepy. That's funny, because... Are you sleepy? You were wide awake like just 2 seconds ago.
I feel tired when it gets dark, Hee-chan.
Just like that? Are you a bird? I pick up my own coffee and have a sip. It's not very hot at all, but very tasty. I down it as quickly as possible, because now I want to get back to my dorm room as well. Misha tries to emulate me, but it's still too hot for her. While I wait for her to finish, I start to wonder what she meant back then about Shizune liking something about me. Suddenly I'm very curious, but dragging that back up now feels like an unnecessary action. I tried to weigh the option again, but interrupted by Misha slammed her empty cardboard cup down on the table with a loud pop. Wait, what? Cardboard cup. Cardboard cup. Why a cardboard cup? Why not an ordinary cup?
Done!
She lets out a short laugh, seeming very pleased with herself. Kind of like a toddler. I wonder if she had that drill-shaped haircut when she was little too, or was it something more like her current look? It would make more sense. I guess we should head back then. I can't see the waitress. Try not to fall asleep while I pay for the sundae, okay?
Not a sundae, it's a buffet, Hee-chan! Or whatever.
That was less an enthusiastic laugh right there. You have ice cream on your nose. Now you have a heart on your nose. It says Katawa Shoujo on it. I know shoujo means girl. I think Katawa is cripple. I think means crippled or something like that. So it was really weird when you like really think about the title of this visual novel, isn't it? In class the next afternoon, what was that all about? Seriously, I just randomly just say that about the title. It's like, oh yeah, I've never even freaking mentioned that. That seemed like something to be at the start of the LP. It's like, oh yeah, Katawa Shoujo actually, I think, translates to crippled girl or something like that. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but something like that. Just like, and now, over 100 parts into it, and now I'm just like, oh yeah, that's what it means, right? I don't know. In class the next afternoon, I'm 2 problems into a math logic worksheet when a folded up piece of paper hits me in the head. I'm sure I know whom it's from, but I quickly look around the classroom anyway, just in case. No one in this classroom is good at acting casual. I can tell that everyone saw who threw it at me. And looking at the culprit herself, it was obviously Shizune. She isn't even trying to be coy about it. The countryside is so different. At my old school, I would have no idea who it was right now. Opening up the note, it says, Misha is absent. Help me out today after school. I don't understand what's with the note. Why can't you just use sign language? A large part of how I learned sign language was by copying Misha's style of signing her words as she speaks, so I end up blurting the sentence out loud as I sign it to Shizune. A slight laugh goes around the room. How awkward. I'll help if I don't have to do a lot. That's silly. Obviously, if Misha is absent, you have to help as much as 2 people. I don't know if that really means anything. After all, Misha was complaining yesterday mostly about how Shizune wouldn't let her help her. I don't do much as is either. I have to pretend to think it over for a bit. I write her a note back telling her I will. I'm actually happy that she asked me, because I've been meaning to talk to her for a while. You know, back to the course that I've been doing, I did write down the characters for the alphabet. I'm not sure, because the Japanese have different kinds of written language, don't they? I think. But I wrote them down like that, and honestly, I did it really slowly because it's okay, gotta get the detail right. It's not quite as fluent with English because you just write it down. It's second nature by that point. I mean, you've learnt it, you're fluent at it, so it's Although honestly, writing in general can be a bit of a pain nowadays with technology, isn't it? When I find myself actually writing, it's oh my god, my handwriting, is that how it looks? Because you forget about that when you're freaking constantly, typing on a keyboard instead. Anyways, because I've been to talk to her for a while. It's a good opportunity, but I feel I should at least make it look like I'm putting up some resistance to the idea. Oh yeah, the reason I brought that up, is because they're writing letters like that, but obviously in Japanese. They must be, obviously fluent at writing this. Oh yes, this, that, that. There we go. Me, I'd be oh shit, just getting one character. It's does it have to be this perfectly precise? I mean, what if I do this wrong? What if this, misshapen look to it or something? I go back to my worksheet and immediately get stuck on the third problem. After trying to work around it, I casually toss my own note over to Shizune. It says, "Why is Misha absent, and what's the answer to question 3? She told me that she was sick and her stomach hurt. Misha gets stomach aches a lot, but I wish she'd picked a better time for it this week. Use sign language." I think she has a stomach ache because of the way she sucks down a buffet larger than her head the other day. She gets them quite often though, either it's a coincidence or she has the habit of eating things that can put her in debilitating pain. Why is it that anytime I read some words, I just feel instinctively pronouncing it completely incorrectly? I have to really think about it. It's no, think of the freaking letters, man. I end up skipping a few letters in it or something. But sometimes words are like that, freaking silent letters. Pain in the ass. Which is weird, because whenever I see the English language, the British version, the actual main version I see it as, because it's freaking Britain, English and all that shit. Then see the Americanized version of it, that usually cuts out a letter or so that we'd have in our country here, in the UK. Well, countries, whatever, you get the idea. And, colour, for example, has a U in it over here, but not in the US. And that always bugs me, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense. I mean, the U is freaking silent, so what's even the point in having it? But it still bugs me nonetheless. I notice the teacher staring at us disapprovingly. I don't blame him if we're talking in class and with sign language in quite a visible and distracting way. I try to clear my throat to back out of our conversation, but Shizune doesn't get the hint. Well, obviously, before I try to get the message across, again with my hands, however, I can see Shizune notices what's up. She just doesn't care. Do you still want to know the answer to question 3? I will tell you, but you have to give me the answer for question 25. Hey, I was just thinking about how a teacher who didn't know sign language could think we were abusing it and using it to cheat. If we were to assume the worst, I can't believe you're actually doing that. I'm not up to 25. You want to know what the answer to 3 was? You asked first, hypocrite. You're the student council president, you can't cheat. I don't have time for this, and I think I'm trying the teacher's patience to the breaking point. I'd like to continue taking pot shots at her while working on the math problems in front of me, but it will require at least 2 extra hands. Shizune is a bit more creative and gets around this limitation by using long, semi-broken strings of simpler words. I take a couple of mental notes in between being dizzied by a couple of particularly long equations. Right before the bell rings, she caps her pen and triumphantly slams it on her desk with an ear-popping crack that makes the whole room jump. Quickly forgotten, because everyone would rather go to lunch than question its origin. After a couple brief stretches, she gets up and hovers over around my left shoulder.
Are you still not done? I was going to ask if you wanted me to hand in yours too while I was up.
Someone distracted me. I had to beg the teacher to give me 9 minutes before now and the end of passing to finish. It's not easy to solve this one-handed while having a conversation, by the way. He wasn't happy with the request, wanting to get out of here as much as I do. Since I'm only one problem away from finishing, it looks like Shizune doesn't really believe me. The second that I'm done handing it in, I find myself being dragged to the student council room. It's eerily and annoyingly clean. I can't find what I was working on yesterday. Where is everything?
I did some cleaning.
That doesn't tell me anything. See, it's like you forgot where you even put the stuff you put away. Oh well, if I can't find it, I guess I'll just go home.
It's in the drawer, right there.
Shizune sulks as I pull out the posters I was working on, and then shuffle them around a little. Since she stacked them by color, it's not that I am taunting her, I just have my own system, although I doubt she would believe me if I were to tell her. I like it when things are a little messy. It's more natural, and a time saver. It's alright when I left it. I don't have to go looking through shelves just to find what I was looking on yesterday. And that is a problem when someone else does the cleaning. Because, like, just like, where did you put my stuff? Where's it gone? You have to ask them. And, like, if it was me, like, if I was doing the cleaning for someone else and they ask, where's all this and that? Where did you put this and all that? Well, actually, if I did that, my mind probably would remember these little details. Which is kind of weird to think about, because usually my mind just like, ah shit, I forget simple things like that. But I probably would if I was actually cleaning for someone else. If I was cleaning my own room though, I'd probably forget where I put half the stuff I put around. Games, for one thing. I have a bad habit, particularly in the past anyway, where I'd put games in the wrong cases deliberately, because I just be like, ah, fuck it. Just like, so let's see, like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel of the Roses, shit. Yeah, put in Time Splitters Picture Perfect case. Time Splitters Picture Perfect disc, where are you? Just like I found the case, fuck, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Shit. Where did I put that bloody game again? You know, shit like that happens. It's quite annoying.
Lazy.
That's not true, I'm not lazy, you just always go too far. I quickly glanced at her desk, a memo pad neatly placed at one corner. Behind it, a small desk calendar with each box filled with notes in a neat but microscopic handwriting. On the right, 3 boxes of pens in blue, black, and red. Look, you even put the pens back in the original box at the end of each day, all color-coded and everything. I don't think that can even be called being a neat freak.
What do you do with them? Throw them in a mug on your desk.
Hey, I think that's being organized enough.
You're so disorganized, you can't even comb your hair down properly.
That hurts. It's not like I don't try, it just won't stay flat. I pick up a box of pens and quickly pop it open to see if she also puts them in so that they're all facing the same direction. She understands what I'm thinking and doesn't look very amused. Turns out that the box wasn't closed properly on the bottom, but as soon as I pick it up, they merely pour out of it like a waterfall. My fault, I'll get them, don't worry. I bent down to pick up the pens, forgetting that with her attention focused on them, she wouldn't have possibly seen me signing to her. Today's head bumps into my chest, not very hard, but it unbalances me enough to make me fall over. I laugh it off and expect her to do the same. When she stiffens and backs away from me instead, a feeling of dread begins to creep over me. There is a weird reaction. I start to think about why she would have such a strange reaction. It's pretty obvious she just bumped headfirst into someone with a heart condition. Shizune would know I have one, having seen the rows and rows of veils lining the edge of my dresser, or at the very least she would know I have something severe enough to require that much medication, but not visible at a glance. Wait, I think he still hasn't even told her about that, has he? Or did he? I think he might have. I don't know, I can't remember. So she's treating me like I'm made of glass. For her, it's the natural way to react. I haven't forgotten how she freaked out when Amy knocked into me on my first day here. Why would it be any different for her? I'm sure she is remembering that. Right now I can see it on her face. She looks angry at herself. It would be a good opportunity to bring that up that time when she saw my bills. Even though I don't want to drag that back up, it would be a good idea to. It would clear the air. Still, I'm afraid and end up saying nothing, partially because, as I imagine having to draw her attention from the floor, then having to assign what kind of a cripple I am to her one gesture at a time, the idea begins to seem more and more depressing. Dude, just get it out, man. I mean, she's your girlfriend and all, you could at least freaking do that much there. Taking a seat, I decided to just try and finish up these posters to get my mind off of it. There are some that I don't remember making, from the wall-to-wall text and alternate handwriting. I can tell Shizune must have done these. That means that the remainder must have been done by Misha, and the bird chirping. They're a lot more visual, with cute little stylized pictures of us on them. I don't know how I feel about being used as a mascot character, but I'm not really thrilled about it. Well, then you do know how you feel about it then. Some time passes, long enough for the sun to start setting. I hear Shizune putting down her pen and cracking her knuckles methodically, one at a time. It's so loud in the silence of the room that I look up wondering if she's trying to get my attention. Well, it wasn't what she intended. When she notices me looking at her, Shizune again begins to sign without skipping a beat. Let's take a break. I'm surprised you would say that. It's okay, I'm almost done anyway. I'm hungry, aren't you? A little. I'm really hungry. We could order something. I was thinking of you. I always have something to eat. Where? She produces a cinnamon bun from under her desk, raising it to her head level slowly like a magician levitating a rock. But there's only one, not enough for both of us. Ah, how dramatic. I can tell what this means. A feeling of deja vu briefly washes over me. We could just split it. That's no fun. So boring. Let's play shogi for it. She already has the board out. That disc must have everything in it. Not chess? Chess has boring promotions. This is better. I don't know about that. Well, I'm actually pretty decent at shogi, so this is fine. I don't know how to play shogi or chess. At all. Well, with chess, I kind of vaguely know. I mean, well, yeah, vaguely know, like, I forget what they called. Is it a rook? You know, the ones that are at the back, all the way on the edges, they kind of move in, like, forwards and back, like, the forward sides. I think they can go back as well, I can't quite remember. Then the pawns just go forward, and then once if they get to the end, they turn into a queen or something. I don't know. Shows how little I know about chess. Is that okay? Is that so, I mean? Okay, we can make it a little more interesting then. Each move has to be completed in 30 seconds. You can add a rule too. Shit, man, this sounds like a freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force game again. Whenever, like, they freaking call you, it's like, hey, I want to duel you, and then they'll be like, we're gonna play with new rules today, so we're gonna have really stupid kind of things where it's just like, oh, you have 30 seconds each turn, or it's like, we'll have, like, 2,000 life points, or we'll have, like, I don't know, just really, why? No thanks, anyway, I could add that. Anything I could add would only hurt me more than it would help. 30-second time limit is already too tight for me. You make me regret thinking it was alright to brag a little. After Shizune wins the right to go first in a quick coin toss, she immediately starts playing with the aim of promoting all of her pieces as soon as possible. Seems like a very basic playstyle, and I can't help thinking it might be a trap of some sort. It's not though. The draw of this game to Shizune appears to be the fact that she can upgrade her pieces and steal mine. She's very good at it, but it makes her predictable. End up doing a little better than I'd expected to. The 30-second time limit is pretty painful though. The game ends in a draw. At this point I think you're supposed to either go for a rematch or tally the pieces for points. Shizune doesn't want to go again in the interest of time, but winning on points clearly doesn't satisfy her. She sits there, shifting a silver general from one edge to the other as she contemplates which of those two options she'll go for. It takes so long that I think she has forgotten about the bet. Eventually she stops fiddling with the shogi piece and puts it down. Is Misha angry at me? That really came out of nowhere. Shizune's frankness is disorientating. Because with her, any kind of blunder is a sign of total seriousness. There is no playful smile on her face. Instead it's her usual stoic mask of concentration, ready to try and see if I'm about to tell her the truth. I'm upset that she thinks that I would tell her anything else, but I also know now that they have probably fought recently out of my sight, and it makes me feel warm to know that they both care about each other so much. No, I strongly doubt it. Do you know that she thinks you're angry at her? Shizune nods slowly and uncomfortably.
Yes.
She was more roundabout with a question than you. Kinda surprising, because I thought that you were the one who liked playing games.
Not all the time.
Are you two having some kind of fight?
No.
She is very quick to deny it and not happy with the thought. I feel like I've stepped on a landmine.
Sorry, actually, yes, just a tiny one. I know that she has no interest in the student council. She only joined because of me. I'm still grateful. I'm so happy she's my friend, but I don't understand what she is upset about this time.
Why don't you just ask her?
She won't tell me. I'll figure it out by myself. Instead, I was sure that I was very...
Read it correctly.
I'll figure it out by myself instead. I was sure that I was very perceptive, even if I can hear. Even if I can't hear. That was dumb. I know better now. It is probably something that is my fault.
Shizune doesn't elaborate full on what it could have been. I'm sure that is because she does not fully understand the situation herself. It's odd to think that Shizune, usually so sure of everything, could be scared by a little argument with a friend. But the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. They're a lot closer to each other than normal friends, and Shizune is pretty isolated from other people in a way. The fact that she is deaf is no small part of it. But I get the feeling that she uses Misha as a buffer between other people of her own will, not just because it's been forced onto her. She can communicate well enough with her little pad. She just hates it.
After such a long time of talking through another person, I guess it's not to lose touch.
It seems unavoidable. It isn't such a far-out idea to think that she isn't that great with people. I return to working, kind of wanting to eat that cinnamon bun more as time drags on, but when I count the shogi pieces still left out on Shizune's table, I can tell at a glance she would win. I'm also too hungry to concentrate if we were to have a rematch. Motivated by my desire to wrap up and eat something, I put the finishing touches on the last of the posters.